have a legal matter you've been putting off, our next guests want you to stop procrastinating. Dr. Keith Canner and family law specialist Bud Kluick, welcome to Better San Diego.
Hey, Renee. Good morning.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
All right, the jig is up, the deal is out. People that have been putting off doing anything legal-wise, it's not even a word, there's just no excuses anymore after the holidays.
That's right, Renee. I can understand many people don't like going to court. I mean, that's kind of, for an attorney like myself, that's kind of our natural working environment. But to most folks, they want to go to court about as much as they want to go into the dentist and get their teeth drilled. And
yeah, it's probably nobody's New Year's resolution. I want to go to court.
Right. And so, and the holidays are always a good excuse to put off anything you don't want to do, and people do that. But it's a new year. If you know you have a legal matter that should be attended to, it's time to do that.
We're going to get to Dr. Canner about the New Year's resolutions and maybe why they're not always successful. But I got to stay with the court issue. People assume that hiring an attorney sometimes is just so expensive, and I think maybe that's why they put it off.
Well, to begin with, about having an attorney, if you don't like going to court, that is an answer, because the attorney can go to court and take care of everything for you. Most court hearings do not require your physical presence if you have an attorney. But more importantly, if something happened bad in this very difficult economic times, putting things off don't solve the problem. For example, if you lost your job or got a reduction in income, you are entitled to a reduction in child support or an increase in child support or spousal support or alimony. But you have to bring that to the court's attention. It does not happen automatically, and the court can only backdate things to when you filed your motion, not to when the event happened. So if you lost your job in October, they won't go back to October. If you file in January and you have a hearing in March, they can only go back to January.
All right, some really good information. Now, Dr. Kenner, I know a lot of people make all sorts of resolutions, whether it's health or spending more time with kids, but sometimes, I mean most times, we don't stick to them.
Well, and the first thing, getting back to what I think Bud was saying, is that you don't want to have to do things that you don't like to do. And that's a tough thing. And you've got to really motivate yourself to get things done that you don't want to do. That's the first thing. Secondly, putting things off is a way of preventing yourself from failing at something. And oftentimes people take on New Year's resolutions that are way too big, quitting smoking or stop drinking and things like that, without really setting smaller goals along the way and doing something that's realistic and doable. And if you don't do something that's realistic and doable, you won't get it done. You'll fail. And the next year you'll say, hey, it didn't work last year, I'll try it again, but it won't work again. So you get into this real failed position again. So you've got to do things that you can do and get it done. Let's
take the issue of fitness. Can you break that up for us in real small pieces of maybe how someone could be successful?
Sure. Well, the idea is if you're looking at a weight loss program, for example, a person says, I'm going to lose X amount of pounds, per year, or you make that goal. And if somebody says, well, I'm going to go for that goal and only that goal and not have little steps along the way, then sometimes that goal gets too large.
Okay.
And they never get there and they feel like a failure. So if you say, hey, look, I'm going to lose this amount of weight, but I'm going to small steps along the way and reinforce yourself, chances are you'll get there.
Thank you so much. And Bud, just like you were saying, can't put it off anymore. Attorneys can do the work, and sometimes the client won't even have to show up in court.
That's most hearings. Your physical presence is now required if you have an attorney, and we'll take care of everything.
Great. Thank you so much. Wonderful to have you guys. More information, just go to san diego6.com and click on Better. Better San Diego continues right after this.